Before your eyes close tonight, before the noise of the world disappears, before your body rests and your mind begins to drift into silence, I want you to understand something that most people live their entire lives without ever realizing. The final thoughts you carry into sleep are not small, they are not random, they are not powerless, they are instructions, they are seeds. They are quiet commands sent into the deepest part of your mind, the part that does not argue, does not doubt, does not sleep, and does not stop working. And tonight, this message has one purpose: to guide your mind into the state where prosperity begins to wake up inside you. Not outside of you first, not in the bank account first, not in the approval of people first, but inside. In the place where faith is formed, in the place where identity is written, in the place where the invisible becomes the foundation of the visible. So before we go deeper, write this in the comments right now, even before you fully understand why. My prosperity is activated tonight. Write it slowly, not as a wish, not as a desperate hope. Write it as a declaration, because the moment you declare something with attention, you begin to move your mind in a new direction. Napoleon Hill taught that whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. But there is a part of that truth that many people overlook. The mind does not believe what you say one time with weak emotion. The mind believes what you repeat, what you feel, what you carry into silence, and especially what you give to it before sleep. That is why this night matters. Tonight is not just another night. Tonight can become a doorway, a quiet doorway between your old identity and the identity of the person who receives, creates, attracts, and walks in prosperity with peace. There is a reason the title of this message brought you here. Sleep while listening to this message and tell no one what happens. Listen to this for one night and your prosperity will be activated. Those words are not about superstition. They are about spiritual timing. They are about silence. They are about guarding the seed before it becomes a tree. Because when something is being formed in the unseen, not everyone needs to touch it with opinions. Not everyone needs to hear about it too early. Some blessings are weakened when they are explained before they are established. The Bible says that Mary kept certain things and pondered them in her heart. She did not announce everything. She did not expose everything. She carried sacred things in silence until the right time, and this is a powerful key for prosperity. Not everything God is doing inside you must be shared before it is mature. There are things that must be protected in the quiet. There are dreams that must be nourished in secret. There are decrees that must be spoken to God, to your own soul, and to the invisible field of your future before they are spoken to the world. So tonight, as you listen, do not treat this like ordinary content. Treat this like a nightly alignment, a sacred hour of mental cleansing, a moment where your body rests, your soul remembers, and your subconscious mind receives new instructions. Breathe slowly. Let your shoulders soften. Let the day lose its weight. You are not here to fight tonight. You are not here to force tonight. You are here to receive. You are here to allow. You are here to become. Most people go to sleep with the wrong messages inside them. They close their eyes carrying fear, bills, resentment, comparison, anxiety, regret, and the opinions of others. And then they wonder why they wake up heavy. They wonder why their life repeats the same patterns. They wonder why opportunity seems distant. But the subconscious mind is faithful. It does not ask whether the seed is good or bad. It simply grows what is planted. If you plant fear before sleep, fear grows. If you plant lack before sleep, lack grows. If you plant gratitude, confidence, faith, and prosperity before sleep, those seeds also begin to grow. The soil is always working. The question is not whether your mind is creating. The question is what you have been giving it to create. Tonight, we change the seed. Napoleon Hill spoke often about autosuggestion, the process of deliberately giving the mind new thoughts until those thoughts become beliefs. He understood that the subconscious mind is influenced by repetition and emotion. And when repetition is joined with faith, something begins to shift. A thought becomes a belief becomes an expectation becomes a decision becomes a habit becomes a destiny. This is why one night can matter. Not because one night is a magic trick, but because one night can become the first night you stop feeding your mind the story of defeat. One night can become the first night you finally speak to yourself as someone chosen, guided, provided for, and capable of receiving more. One night can interrupt a pattern that has been repeating for years. Maybe you have carried a hidden belief that money is always hard. Maybe somewhere inside you learned that prosperity is for other people. Maybe you were taught that wanting abundance is wrong, or that success requires constant suffering, or that peace and wealth cannot live together. But tonight, let this truth enter you gently. Prosperity is not just money. Prosperity is alignment. Prosperity is peace in your decisions. Prosperity is wisdom when opportunities appear. Prosperity is the ability to recognize doors God opens and the courage to walk through them. Prosperity is having enough to live, to give, to grow, to serve, and to become who you were created to be. The Bible says, "Beloved, I wish above all things that you may prosper and be in health, even as your soul prospers." Notice the order. As your soul prospers. There is a prosperity of the soul that comes before the prosperity of the hand. There is an inner expansion that comes before the outer increase. There is a mental and spiritual permission that must awaken before the visible world begins to respond differently. Tonight, your soul is being reminded. You were not created to live permanently trapped in fear. You were not created to bow before lack. You were not created to shrink your desires until they fit the doubts of people who never saw what God placed in you. There is something in you that knows you were made for more, not in arrogance, not in greed, but in purpose, in service, in divine order. And as you listen, something quiet is being rearranged. Your nervous system is calming down. Your thoughts are slowing. The resistance in your heart is softening. And in that softening, the subconscious mind becomes more receptive. This is why the moments before sleep are so powerful. The conscious mind, the part that analyzes and argues, begins to step aside, and the deeper mind begins to listen. So let it listen to truth. You are not abandoned. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are not too late. Your prosperity is not lost. It is being activated through alignment, faith, clarity, and obedience. There is a reason Scripture says, "Be still and know that I am God." Stillness is not emptiness. Stillness is where the deepest knowing returns. The world teaches you to panic, hurry, compare, and chase. But God often works in the still place. The place where you stop performing and start receiving instruction. The place where you stop begging and start believing. The place where you stop repeating lack and start speaking life. Napoleon Hill said that faith is a state of mind which may be induced by affirmation or repeated instructions to the subconscious mind. That means faith can be cultivated, it can be strengthened, it can be practiced, it can become the atmosphere of your thoughts. And tonight, we are not asking your mind to pretend. We are inviting your mind to remember. Remember that the same God who placed stars in the sky also placed gifts inside you. Remember that the same wisdom that guides seasons can guide your steps. Remember that the same power that brings harvest from seed can bring increase from the small, faithful actions you take. You may not see the full harvest yet, but the seed is alive. Now breathe in slowly, and as you breathe out, release the belief that you must suffer forever to be worthy. Breathe in again. And as you breathe out, release the voice that says prosperity is impossible for you. Breathe in again. And as you breathe out, release every word spoken over your life that made you feel small, incapable, or undeserving. Those words are not your law. Your past is not your prison. Your bank account is not your identity. Your mistakes are not your name. Your fear is not your future. Tonight, a new instruction begins. Say within yourself, I am available for divine increase. Say within yourself, I am ready to receive wisdom. Say within yourself, I allow prosperity to flow through my life in peace. Say within yourself, God is guiding me into better decisions, better opportunities, and better alignment. Do not rush these words. Let them settle like rain on dry ground. Many people want prosperity, but they are not prepared to become the person who can carry it. They want the blessing, but not the transformation. They want increase but still cling to disorder, fear, resentment, and old identity. But true prosperity does not only change what you have, it changes who you are. It makes you more responsible. It makes you more generous. It makes you more disciplined. It makes you more awake. And this is where Napoleon Hill and biblical wisdom meet. Hill taught the importance of a definite purpose. Scripture says, "Where there is no vision, the people perish." A life without vision becomes vulnerable to distraction. A mind without direction becomes a house where every fear can enter. So tonight, even as you rest, your inner vision is being strengthened. Not a frantic vision, not a desperate vision, a peaceful vision. See yourself waking up with clarity. See yourself making wise choices. See yourself receiving ideas that solve problems. See yourself managing money with peace. See yourself no longer wasting your energy trying to prove yourself to people who cannot understand your calling. See yourself guided. See yourself calm. See yourself walking through the day with the quiet confidence of someone who knows that God is not against them but with them. This is important. Prosperity is not only attracted by desire, it is also maintained by identity. You cannot keep rejecting yourself and expect life to keep offering you increase without resistance. Somewhere inside, you must agree with the blessing. You must stop pushing away the good that comes because it feels unfamiliar. Some people sabotage prosperity, not because they lack opportunity, but because they do not recognize themselves as someone who can receive it. Tonight, that changes gently. You do not need to become someone else. You need to become aligned with the truest version of who God created you to be. The version of you that is not ruled by fear. The version of you that speaks with faith. The version of you that thinks before reacting. The version of you that honors time, money, energy, and relationships. The version of you that understands silence is not emptiness. Silence is preparation. That is why the title says, "Tell no one what happens," because the first movement of a miracle often happens quietly. You may wake up with a new idea. You may feel peace where there was pressure. You may suddenly know what decision to make. You may notice an opportunity you would have ignored before. You may feel a desire to organize your life, forgive someone, create something, apply for something, call someone, learn something, stop something, begin something. Do not rush to explain it. Protect it. Move with it. Let the fruit speak when the time is right. The book of Proverbs says that life and death are in the power of the tongue. This means your words are not casual. They are carriers. They carry fear or faith. They carry defeat or direction. They carry old identity or new creation. So tonight your words must become sacred, not loud, not dramatic, sacred. Say softly in your heart, "I speak life over my future. I speak prosperity over my work. I speak wisdom over my decisions. I speak peace over my home. I speak divine order over my finances. I speak courage over my calling. I speak gratitude over what I have. I speak increase over what is coming." Now let those words travel deeper than your ears. Let them enter the part of you that learned to expect struggle. Let them enter the part of you that became tired. Let them enter the part of you that stopped dreaming because disappointment felt safer than hope. Hope is returning. Not childish hope, not passive hope. A mature hope. A hope that breathes, listens, acts, and trusts. Napoleon Hill believed that the subconscious mind works continuously, day and night. That means when you sleep, your deeper mind is still active. It is sorting, connecting, remembering, imagining, and preparing. And when you give it a clear command wrapped in faith, it begins to search for ways to fulfill it. This is why tonight is not passive. Your body may rest, but your inner world is receiving a new pattern. Your mind is learning a new sound. Your soul is returning to a higher agreement. And here is the agreement. I was not created for lack. I was not created for confusion. I was not created to live as a servant of fear. I was created with purpose. I am guided by divine wisdom. I receive ideas that bless my life and bless others. I am disciplined enough to steward increase. I am humble enough to be taught. I am bold enough to move when God opens the door. I am grateful enough to multiply what is in my hand. Now, if this message is already touching something deep inside you, write this in the comments. I receive prosperity in silence. This is not for show. It is a seal. A reminder that you are no longer trying to impress the world with your intentions. You are learning to build inwardly before announcing outwardly. There is a sacred kind of prosperity that begins when you stop leaking your energy through explanation. You do not need to tell everyone what you are becoming. You do not need to defend every decision. You do not need to make your calling understandable to people who are committed to misunderstanding your growth. Some seasons require quiet obedience. Some seasons require secret discipline. Some seasons require you to disappear from noise so you can reappear with fruit. This is one of those moments. As you listen tonight, imagine your mind as a garden. For years, certain weeds may have grown there. Thoughts like, I am not enough. Money never stays. Good things never happen to me. I always struggle. I am too late. I do not know how. It is impossible. But a garden is not condemned because weeds appeared. A garden changes when the gardener returns. Tonight you return. You return to your inner garden with authority, with gentleness, with faith, and you begin removing what does not belong. Fear does not belong. Shame does not belong. Hopelessness does not belong. Jealousy does not belong. Self-hatred does not belong. The belief that God has forgotten you does not belong. Now you plant new seeds. Wisdom belongs here. Peace belongs here. Prosperity belongs here. Discipline belongs here. Faith belongs here. Divine ideas belong here. Open doors belong here. Gratitude belongs here. The harvest you desire is connected to the seeds you protect. And tonight, the seed is being protected by rest. This is powerful because most people try to change their lives only through force. They push harder, worry harder, think harder, compare harder. But spiritual prosperity often begins when you stop worshipping struggle and start honoring alignment. Jesus said, "Consider the lilies of the field, how they grow. They do not toil in panic, they are not lazy, but they are aligned with the order of creation. They receive light, they receive water, they grow according to design. There is a way to grow without destroying your soul. There is a way to prosper without losing your peace. There is a way to increase without becoming a prisoner of anxiety. Tonight your mind is being trained to receive that way, not through panic, through faith, not through desperation, through identity, not through noise, through quiet power." Napoleon Hill often emphasized desire, belief, and persistence, but desire without peace becomes obsession. Belief without action becomes fantasy. Persistence without wisdom becomes exhaustion. The highest form of prosperity is when desire, faith, action, wisdom, and surrender begin to work together. You desire with clarity. You believe with emotion. You act with obedience. You persist with discipline. You surrender the timing to God. That is the rhythm. And tonight, while your body prepares for sleep, your spirit is being invited into that rhythm. Think of the word prosperity as a river. You do not create the river by screaming at the ground. You align yourself with its flow. You remove the stones. You clear the channel. You stop blocking what is already trying to move. Many blocks are internal. A block can be guilt. A block can be fear of being judged. A block can be the belief that spiritual people must stay poor. A block can be resentment toward people who have more. A block can be careless spending. A block can be lack of vision. A block can be refusing to learn. A block can be speaking curses over your own life every day. Tonight the river is being cleared, not all at once through pressure, but gently through awareness. Let this phrase enter you. Money is not my master. Money is a tool in the hands of a guided soul. Say it again inside. Money is not my master. Money is a tool in the hands of a guided soul. When money becomes your master, fear controls you. When money becomes your God, you lose yourself. But when money becomes a tool, guided by wisdom and purpose, prosperity becomes service. It becomes freedom to do what is right. It becomes ability to support, build, give, heal, create, and expand. God does not need you afraid of increase. He needs you mature enough to carry it. That maturity begins in the mind. A mature mind does not panic at every delay. A mature mind does not envy every success. A mature mind does not speak death over its own future. A mature mind listens for instruction. A mature mind prepares before the door opens. A mature mind understands that tonight's invisible work becomes tomorrow's visible behavior. and that behavior becomes results. So even now, as your breathing slows, imagine yourself tomorrow, not months from now, tomorrow. You wake up different. Maybe the room is the same, maybe the situation is the same, but something in you is not the same. You wake up with a quiet certainty. You do not reach for fear first. You do not begin the day by worshipping problems. You begin with gratitude. You say, "Thank you, God, for guiding me today." You ask, "What is the wise action for today?" You listen, you move. And because your mind is calm, you notice what you used to miss. This is how prosperity begins to activate. It often begins as a small shift in perception, a calm thought, a new idea, a better conversation, a decision not to waste money, a decision to create something, a decision to stop delaying, a decision to learn the skill, a decision to answer the call, a decision to forgive and reclaim energy. The outer world changes after the inner command becomes consistent. That is why you are listening tonight. You are not just hearing words, you are entering a pattern. The pattern is faith before evidence. The pattern is gratitude before arrival. The pattern is identity before manifestation. The pattern is silence before fruit. The pattern is alignment before acceleration. There is a verse that says, "Commit your works unto the Lord, and your thoughts shall be established." This is profound. When your direction is surrendered to God, your thoughts become steadier. You stop being tossed around by every emotion. You stop changing your identity every time circumstances change. You become established. Prosperity needs an established mind. Because increase will test you, opportunity will test you, delay will test you, people will test you, money will test you, silence will test you. And the person who has no inner foundation may receive something and lose themselves in it. But the person rooted in faith can receive and remain whole. Tonight, your foundation is being strengthened. Say within yourself, "I am rooted in God." Say within yourself, "I am guided by wisdom." Say within yourself, "I receive prosperity with humility and strength." Say within yourself, "I am becoming a faithful steward of increase." Let every sentence become gentle. Let it flow without effort. You do not need to force belief. Just allow the words to pass through the gates of your mind. Repetition softens resistance. Faith grows by hearing, and tonight you are hearing a new story about your life. The old story said, "Nothing changes." The new story says, "God is working in me and through me." The old story said, "I am unlucky." The new story says, "I am guided and prepared." The old story said, "Prosperity is far away." The new story says, "Prosperity begins in my soul and expresses through my life." The old story said, "I must tell everyone to feel real." The new story says, "I can carry sacred things quietly until they bear fruit." There is great strength in quietness. A seed does not make noise while becoming a tree. Roots do their work underground. Before anyone sees the branches, there is hidden growth. Before there is shade, there is depth. Before there is fruit, there is rooting. Tonight, roots are growing. And when roots grow, do not disturb them with impatience. Do not wake tomorrow and dig up the seed by saying nothing happened. Instead, say something has begun. Say, "My mind received new instructions." Say, "My prosperity is being activated through wisdom, faith, and action." Say, "I am listening for divine direction." Because one of the most powerful results of this message may not be an instant external event. It may be a new instruction. And one instruction from God can do more than years of anxious effort. One idea can open a door. One conversation can change a path. One decision can stop a cycle. One act of courage can begin a harvest. One night of alignment can become the first night of a new life. Now bring your attention to your heart. Not the physical heart alone, but the inner center where belief lives. Ask yourself quietly, what have I been believing about my future? Do not judge the answer, just observe it. Have you believed that your best days are behind you? Have you believed that prosperity is for others but not for you? Have you believed that you must stay small to stay safe? Have you believed that God helps everyone else but not you? Now let those beliefs dissolve in the presence of truth. God is not limited by your history. God is not intimidated by your circumstances. God is not confused by your need. God is able to guide you from where you are to where you need to be. But you must stop agreeing with the voice that curses your future. You must stop rehearsing defeat as if it is wisdom. You must stop calling fear realistic when faith is the higher reality. Faith is not denial. Faith sees the mountain and remembers God is greater. Faith sees the closed door and keeps listening for direction. Faith sees the empty field and still plants seed. Faith sees the night and understands morning is already on the way. That is the kind of faith being built in you. Napoleon Hill said that every adversity carries with it the seed of an equivalent benefit. This does not mean pain is good. It means pain does not get the final word when the mind is trained to search for wisdom. What looked like delay may train patience. What looked like rejection may redirect you. What looked like loss may awaken discipline. What looked like silence may deepen your hearing. Prosperity is not only receiving more. Sometimes prosperity begins by interpreting your life differently. A defeated mind wastes every lesson. A prosperous mind extracts wisdom even from difficulty. Tonight, your mind becomes more prosperous. Your thoughts become more selective. Your words become more powerful. Your silence becomes more sacred. Your sleep becomes more purposeful. Now listen carefully to these declarations. Let them become your own. I am not chasing prosperity from a place of fear. I am aligning with prosperity from a place of faith. I am not begging life to remember me. I am awakening to the truth that God has never forgotten me. I am not trapped in old programming. I am being renewed in the spirit of my mind. I am not a victim of every circumstance. I am a faithful participant in divine creation. I do not need to announce every seed. I protect what God is growing in me. I do not speak lack over my life. I speak wisdom, increase, order, and peace. I do not sleep in fear. I sleep in faith. I do not wake in confusion. I wake in direction. Now imagine a golden light around you, a warm, peaceful light, not something frightening, not something forced, just a symbol of divine provision surrounding your life. This light touches your thoughts. Confusion becomes clarity. This light touches your words. Complaining becomes declaration. This light touches your hands. Waste becomes stewardship. This light touches your path. Delay becomes preparation. This light touches your finances. Fear becomes wisdom. This light touches your heart. Anxiety becomes trust. Now see yourself placing every financial concern, every dream, every need, every unpaid bill, every goal, every desire, every responsibility into the hands of God. You are not abandoning responsibility. You are releasing panic. There is a difference. Responsibility says, I will do my part with wisdom. Panic says, everything depends on me alone. Tonight, panic is leaving. You will do your part. You will learn. You will act. You will improve. You will manage. You will create. You will listen. You will move. But you will not worship anxiety. You will not sleep under the weight of fear. You will not allow lack to be the last voice your mind hears before entering rest. The last voice will be faith. The last image will be increase. The last emotion will be gratitude. The last agreement will be God is guiding me. This is how prosperity is activated at night, by giving the subconscious mind a new command and giving the soul a higher agreement. And now, as this message continues, allow yourself to become quieter. You do not need to remember every word consciously. Let the deeper part of you receive what it needs. Your subconscious mind knows how to keep what is repeated with emotion. Your spirit knows how to recognize truth. Your body knows how to rest. Your future knows how to respond to the person you are becoming. Let these words move through you like a gentle river. I am safe to prosper. I am safe to grow. I am safe to receive. I am safe to be guided. I am safe to leave old patterns behind. I am safe to walk in new wisdom. I am safe to be blessed without guilt. I am safe to be generous without fear. I am safe to become who God created me to be. There are people who fear prosperity because they have seen it misused. But the misuse of a blessing does not make the blessing evil. It means wisdom is needed. Money in fearful hands creates more fear. Money in greedy hands creates more emptiness, but money in guided hands becomes a tool for good. So tonight, Do not reject prosperity. Purify your relationship with it. Say, I receive increase with wisdom. Say, I receive resources with humility. Say, I receive opportunities with discernment. Say, I receive abundance to live, to give, to build, and to serve. This is a higher form of receiving, not selfish, not desperate, sacred. The Bible speaks of Joseph, who was given wisdom to manage resources in a time of famine. His prosperity was not only personal, it became protection for many. This is what happens when increase meets purpose. Ask God to make you that kind of person. A person who can be trusted with ideas. A person who can be trusted with opportunities. A person who can be trusted with influence. A person who can be trusted with money. A person who can be trusted with silence. Because silence is also stewardship. When something begins to happen after tonight, do not rush to expose it. Pray over it, write it down, act on it wisely. Let it grow. Share when sharing serves the purpose, not when sharing feeds the ego. Tell no one what happens does not mean hide blessings forever. It means protect the early movement. Do not allow doubt, envy, or careless opinions to interrupt what is still forming. Even Jesus sometimes told people not to speak too soon about what had occurred. There is timing in revelation. Learn timing, learn discernment, learn sacred quiet. Now write this in your heart. I will not expose my seed before it has roots. I will not abandon my harvest because others cannot see it yet. I will not confuse silence with absence. I will not confuse preparation with delay. I will not confuse humility with smallness. I will not confuse faith with fantasy. I will believe, listen, act, and rest. This is the rhythm of prosperity. Believe, listen, act, rest. Believe again, listen again, act again, rest again. Most people believe and panic, or listen and doubt, or act and burn out, or rest and feel guilty. But the prosperous soul learns the rhythm of divine partnership. God gives the vision, you align the mind. God gives the wisdom, you take the step. God opens the door, you walk through with courage. God gives the seed, you plant, water, and wait. This is not passive, this is peaceful power. And this peaceful power is rising in you now. Your breathing is slower, your body is heavier, your mind is softer. And because of that, the words can go deeper. You are allowed to rest. You are allowed to receive. You are allowed to stop replaying the problem. You are allowed to stop rehearsing disaster. You are allowed to sleep under the covering of faith. Before sleep, many minds become battlefields, but tonight your mind becomes an altar where old fear is surrendered, an altar where new words are spoken, an altar where your future is blessed. So bless your future now. Say, my future is blessed by divine wisdom. My work is blessed by creativity and discipline. My finances are blessed by order and increase. My relationships are blessed by peace and discernment. My mind is blessed by clarity. My hands are blessed to build. My words are blessed to create life. My sleep is blessed with renewal. My morning is blessed with direction. Feel that. Do not force it. Feel it gently. Something within you is accepting a new agreement. And as you accept it, old emotional patterns may try to speak. They may say, this is not true. This cannot happen. You have tried before. Nothing changes. Do not fight those voices. Simply replace them. When fear says nothing changes, answer, I am being renewed. When doubt says it is impossible, answer, God has ways I have not seen. When shame says you are not worthy, answer, I am growing into faithful stewardship. When lack says there is not enough, answer, God is my source and wisdom is my path. When anxiety says stay awake and worry, answer, I sleep in faith and wake in direction. This is mental discipline. This is spiritual practice. This is the kind of repetition that reprograms the subconscious mind. And the more you practice it, the more natural it becomes. At first, faith may feel like a sentence you repeat. Then it becomes a thought you return to. Then it becomes an emotion you recognize. Then it becomes an identity you live from. Then it becomes a life you walk in. Tonight, you are at the beginning of that chain. Do not despise beginnings. The beginning is holy. A small seed contains a forest. A small decision contains a destiny. A single night of alignment can contain a new era. Now let us deepen this further. Imagine there is a door in front of you. This door represents the next level of your life. Not just money, a higher version of you, a cleaner mind, a stronger faith, a wiser relationship with time, a peaceful relationship with wealth, a deeper trust in God. On this door, there is no lock made of metal. The lock is a belief. The belief says, I am not ready. Now see yourself placing your hand on that belief and softly saying, I am willing to be prepared. The door begins to open. Another belief appears. It says, I do not deserve more. You place your hand on it and say, I receive by grace and I steward with wisdom. The door opens more. Another belief appears. It says, I will fail. You place your hand on it and say, every step teaches me, and God guides my path. The door opens more. Another belief appears. It says, people will judge me. You place your hand on it and say, I obey God, not fear. Now the door is open. You do not need to run through it. Just see the light beyond it. Feel the peace beyond it. Let your subconscious mind become familiar with the doorway. Let your inner world begin to accept that expansion is possible. This is visualization with faith. Napoleon Hill called imagination the workshop of the mind. It is where plans are formed before they are seen. Scripture shows this principle again and again. God often gives vision before manifestation. A promised land is seen before it is entered. A child is promised before he is born. A harvest is imagined before the seed is planted. Your inner image matters. So tonight, replace images of failure with images of faithfulness. Replace images of lack with images of wise increase. Replace images of panic with images of peace. Replace images of rejection with images of divine placement. Replace images of confusion with images of guided steps. You are not escaping reality. You are giving your mind a new blueprint so your actions can begin to follow a new design. Now, when you wake, do not expect your entire life to be different before you choose differently. Expect guidance. Expect a calmer mind. Expect one clear step. Expect a new awareness. Expect a seed. And honor the seed. Maybe the seed is to organize your finances. Maybe the seed is to stop speaking negatively. Maybe the seed is to create a plan. Maybe the seed is to finish something you abandoned. Maybe the seed is to pray before making a decision. Maybe the seed is to stop telling your dreams to people who drain your faith. Maybe the seed is to learn a skill. Maybe the seed is to give thanks before receiving proof. Whatever it is, honor it. Prosperity responds to stewardship. When you honor small instructions, larger instructions can come. When you honor small resources, larger resources can be trusted. When you honor quiet conviction, greater clarity follows. Now breathe slowly again. Let your mind rest in this truth. I do not need to know every step tonight. I only need to receive the next instruction. I do not need to force the future. I only need to align with God, renew my mind, and move with wisdom. I do not need to tell everyone. I only need to protect what is sacred until it bears fruit. I do not need to panic. I can rest. This is the part many people miss. Rest is not laziness when it is filled with faith. Rest can be spiritual confidence. Rest can be a declaration that you are not alone in the creation of your future. When a farmer plants seed, he does not stay awake all night commanding the soil to work. He sleeps because he trusts the process. He still returns to water and cultivate, but he does not confuse worry with responsibility. Tonight, sleep like someone who has planted. Sleep like someone who has released the seed. Sleep like someone who knows the soil is working. Sleep like someone who believes God can move while you rest. And as you sleep, let the final instructions be these. My mind is open to divine ideas. My heart is open to holy confidence. My life is open to peaceful prosperity. My hands are open to receive and to give. My path is open to wisdom and opportunity. My spirit is open to God's direction. My sleep is not wasted. My sleep is restoration. My sleep is alignment. My sleep is preparation. My prosperity is activated in the unseen before it appears in the seen. Now, before we move into the final part of this nightly activation, leave a comment with these words: I will protect the seed. Write it as a promise to yourself, not to the world, not to strangers, to yourself and to God, because the person who protects the seed protects the harvest. And now, let these final words become slower, softer, deeper. You have carried enough fear for one lifetime. You have repeated enough lack. You have punished yourself enough for old mistakes. Tonight, you release the agreement with scarcity. You release the belief that struggle is your permanent identity. You release the need to explain your transformation. You release the fear of receiving. You release the habit of sleeping with anxiety. And you enter a new agreement, the agreement of faith, the agreement of wisdom, the agreement of prosperity with peace, the agreement of silent growth, the agreement of divine timing, the agreement of a renewed mind. From this night forward, you will become more aware of your words. You will notice when you are about to speak lack, and you will choose life. You will notice when you are about to panic, and you will breathe. You will notice when you are about to share something too early, and you will protect it. You will notice when God gives a small instruction, and you will honor it. This is how the activation continues after the message ends, not only in sleep, but in the way you wake, not only in words, but in choices, not only in desire, but in discipline, not only in receiving, but in stewardship. You are becoming someone who can carry prosperity. You are becoming someone who can recognize blessing. You are becoming someone who can move without fear. You are becoming someone who can rest without guilt. You are becoming someone who can receive without self-sabotage. And when things begin to happen, remember the wisdom of silence. Let gratitude be louder than announcement. Let obedience be stronger than explanation. Let fruit speak at the appointed time. God sees the seed. God sees the quiet prayer. God sees the private discipline. God sees the tears no one heard. God sees the faith you are rebuilding. And God knows how to bring increase in the right way at the right time through the right door. You are not forgotten. You are being formed. You are not empty. You are being prepared. You are not powerless. You are being renewed. You are not too late. You are entering alignment. Now let your body rest. Let your thoughts slow down. Let your breathing become gentle. Let your heart receive peace. Let your subconscious mind carry these commands through the night. I am guided. I am protected. I am provided for. I am prepared. I am prosperous in my soul. I am prosperous in my mind. I am prosperous in my decisions. I am prosperous in my work. I am prosperous in my relationships. I am prosperous in my purpose. I receive divine ideas. I receive wise opportunities. I receive disciplined habits. I receive peaceful increase. I receive courage to act. I receive patience to wait. I receive humility to learn. I receive strength to continue. I receive prosperity with gratitude. It is already beginning in the unseen. It is already taking root in the silence. It is already moving through your thoughts, your emotions, your decisions, and your spiritual atmosphere. Tonight, you do not sleep as the old version of yourself. You sleep as someone being renewed. You sleep as someone who has planted new words into the soil of the mind. You sleep as someone who has remembered that God is the source, faith is the atmosphere, wisdom is the path, and prosperity is the fruit of alignment. And when morning comes, do not rush to noise. Begin softly. Put your feet on the ground with gratitude. Say, "Thank you, God, for this new day. Guide my thoughts, guide my words, guide my decisions. Show me the next right step." Then take that step. That is how miracles become lifestyle. That is how activation becomes transformation. That is how one night becomes the beginning of a new pattern. Now, as this message closes, keep the promise alive. Like this video so this prayerful message can reach another person who needs to sleep in faith instead of fear. Subscribe so you can continue renewing your mind with messages of faith, prosperity, and spiritual strength. And leave your final comment below. My prosperity is activated and I will protect the seed. Let those be the words that close this night. Do not explain too much. Do not fear the silence. Do not dig up the seed. Sleep in faith. Rest in God. Wake in wisdom. Walk in prosperity. And remember, what is planted in the silence with faith will rise in the open with power.